Welcome to Ohio Roots, the official podcast of the Ohio Genealogical Society. Join us as we embark on a captivating journey through Ohio's rich genealogy, history, and abundant resources. Hosted by me, OGS Executive Director Noel Poirier, this podcast brings you insightful conversations with a diverse array of guests, from OGS members, chapter leaders, and staff to renowned genealogists, historians, and influential figures within the genealogical community. Each episode delves into fascinating topics and captivating stories. So grab your headphones, hit that play button, and join us on this enthralling journey of Ohio's roots. Welcome back to the Ohio Roots podcast. In today's episode, we're talking with Deb Deal from the 2026 OGS Conference Committee. She gives us a behind-the-scenes look at next year's conference, shares what attendees can look forward to as they dig into finding your genealogy gems in Sharonville, Ohio. Whether you're a first-time participant or a conference veteran, you won't want to miss this preview of what's ahead. And now, Deb Deal. Well, Deb Deal, thank you for joining me on the Ohio Roots podcast again. You've been on before to do exactly the same thing, I believe, a few years ago. So I appreciate it. I'm really excited to hear what's going on for the 2026 conference this year. So let's start with, does the conference have a theme this year?
It does. It's called Finding Your Genealogical Gems. So we're kind of using that pirate theme. So, with it being in Cincinnati area, I think that that's appropriate.
Yeah. So you mentioned where it is. Where exactly are people going to be going this year when they attend?
So it's the Sharonville Convention Center, and it's just a little north of Cincinnati, which is a good location for genealogists. And it's April 29th through May the 2nd of 2026.
And who's sharing the responsibilities with you this year?
Well, there is a large committee, but Karen Citrus and I are the co-chairs this year.
Okay. Is this conference going to kind of build on things we've done in the past, or will it be a whole new experience for folks?
Well, we try to continue to build on the past, but there are very new speakers that are involved.
Okay.
We try to kind of hinge on that area of southwestern Ohio and have some special things planned for that area.
Okay, that's pretty neat. Who should we expect to see as our keynote this year?
Well, the keynote is Sandra Rubble. I always call her Sandy. But she is a military expert, but she's also going to talk about how to relate our family stories to people who would enjoy them. Okay,
so basically how to storytell in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Neat. I know it's something a lot of people always ask us about at the library with OGS in general is telling their stories. And I know as genealogists, we really enjoy telling our family stories. So that'll be nice.
Yes.
Are there any other presenters this year that you are particularly excited about?
Well, I always enjoy Reverend David McDonald. He is, of course, a military expert as well as a church expert. He's also going to provide us with some entertainment for Wednesday night.
Oh, really? Dare I ask, or is that a secret?
No, he's going to be a pirate.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Talk about stories on the Ohio River.
Okay.
That will be a good event to open the conference with.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It reminds me of, I think it was several years ago in Great Wolf Lodge, I think it was, where we had the discussion of bootleggers in Cincinnati.
Yes.
Or something like that, I think it was. Are there any particularly first-time speakers that you're excited about?
Well, this Amy Ehrman is coming in from Arizona, and she is going to talk about digitalizing archives, your material, as well as using other things like WorldCat and Archive Grid that people just aren't using enough.
Okay,
I think that will be very important.
Yeah, that sounds interesting because I know, we do it all the time, obviously, with digitizing records, but I think we as personal genealogists and family historians sometimes see that as a bit overwhelming.
Yes, and she's also an expert on what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
How are you going to share it? How are you going to preserve it? Which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating. And I think it's nice to kind of expand on computer skills that we don't all have.
Yes, it is.
I know that we're doing workshops again this year. How many of those are scheduled this year? Do you know?
Well, on Wednesday afternoon, we have several. On military. We have one that Dr. David's going to do on advanced methodology. And I
Okay.
think that it's very important. Sometimes we get these records, but where do we go from there? We're having
Yeah.
one on military with Sandy, storytelling with another one, and actually something different we're doing this year. We are offering a couple during the week
Okay.
that instead of just having them on Wednesday, some people
Hmm.
can't come on Wednesday. They're working or
Sure.
whatever. So we have a couple others planned on different days of the week.
Okay. Well, that's great. It's nice because that makes it a little more flexible for people who only do the 1 or 2 or 3 day as opposed to the
Yes.
whole conference. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Noel Poirier here, Executive Director of the Ohio Genealogical Society and your host for the Ohio Roots podcast. Did you know you can help preserve the past and empower the future? Your donation to the Ohio Genealogical Society helps protect vital family history records and supports research for generations to come. Visit www.ogs.org/donate and give today. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoy listening to the Ohio Roots podcast, we would really appreciate it if you could go to whatever platform it is that you listen and give us a good review. Reviews help us get more listeners and reach more people with Ohio Roots and what we're trying to do with the Ohio Genealogical Society. So please leave us a nice review, and thanks for listening. One of the things I look forward to the most at conference are kind of the social gatherings that we have. I assume we have plenty of those scheduled for folks to take part in.
Well, we do. Every day for lunch and at dinner on Wednesday night, we have special presentations available. And one that I'm really interested in is with Thomas Crowell. He's
Okay.
a journalist from the Columbus area, but he's going to talk about a murder mystery in the Cincinnati area, which I think will be good.
Interesting.
Also, one of the other things that I'm interested in this year is Amy Rose Haynes is going to talk about the culture and brewing aspect in Cincinnati area.
Okay.
So we're kind of, cluing in on that area a little bit more than we would normally.
That sounds pretty fascinating. I always look forward to pretty much everything that's going on. It's kind of fun. Are you doing the usual kind of raffles and door prizes and things like that this year? Is there anything special?
We have a very special raffle this year. Vivipix is offering a almost $1,600 package, which includes a scanner, software, and that type of things. And the raffle tickets are $10. And what this is, it's a wonderful object for you to own. I actually have one.
Oh, wow.
But it's a book scanner. It does so many different things. But what a wonderful opportunity for societies and libraries to purchase tickets and have that raffle drawn and have that for your society. What a wonderful addition to your library.
And I know that folks can go on to the OGS website, the conference page on the website, and actually order those raffle tickets now, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. It's also kind of ties in nicely with one of the speakers you mentioned about what to do with how to digitize your records and things like that. It ties in very nice.
Yes. And I will tell you, it's very user-friendly because
Well, that's
I'm really
good.
not a computer expert. So it's very user-friendly. So anybody can use it.
Well, that's good. Now, I assume we're going to have the vendor hall again this year. Is there anything we should be looking forward to there? Any new vendors, special showcases this year?
Not that I'm aware of. Excuse me. I know that our vendor chair, Kim Harrison, has worked very hard on getting some new vendors, but I'm just not really sure.
Okay.
The vendor hall is always fun. We'll have our raffles, and I think that will be important. Also, every year, the attendees, we give them a card, and they go around to the different vendors and find these little items, and then there's a drawing for that also. We have always given a 1-year free membership to OGS and a couple other things.
Yeah, I know I enjoy the vendor hall because it gives me a chance to walk around and just chat with people when I'm there, which is really nice, and be chatted to, of course, which is nice as well. Do you have any advice for folks who've never been to an OGS conference before?
My best advice is just go.
Okay.
It's wonderful for people to talk to other people who are interested in the same thing. If you're a first-time attendee, most of the people in the Ohio Genealogical Society are very nice to you. They're welcoming, and then you get answers to certain questions. You always learn something, whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced learner. Every conference you go to, you learn something.
Yeah, I don't necessarily eavesdrop on conversations, but when you're in the vendor hall or when you're out in the hallways around it and you see people sitting around just chatting about what they're researching or giving each other pointers, it is a really neat social atmosphere and a nice way to make a lot of new friends, I think.
Yes, I would like to mention that we do have something special planned this year for Wednesday.
Okay.
Um, Kenny Burke, a longtime OGS member, fellow, he is going to take a bus to the Cincinnati Library
Oh, wow.
to do research for the
Okay.
afternoon. And that's part of it. If people are coming in from out of town and have
Sure.
relatives or family in that area, it's a wonderful opportunity. Very low cost. I
Mhm.
think we're limited to 54 people, but
Okay.
it will be wonderful. And Kenny knows the library, and the staff at the library is willing to help us.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a really neat addition to the conference that we haven't had in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Um, what are you hoping that folks take away the most from the conference?
Well, I'm hoping they take away how inviting Ohio Genealogical Society is, as well as information, education. That's what
Hmm.
we're all about, educating the people about what's available, not just in Ohio, but
Right.
everywhere.
Okay. You want to tell folks how they can register, when that's going to start, and all that kind of information?
Well, it's going to start on Black Friday.
Okay.
Everybody knows Black Friday. So registration will become live on Black Friday for the OGS website, but you can go on there now and see the schedule of events that we're having and, kind of decide, what you might be interested in for the week.
All right. Okay. Well, great. Well, Deb, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule today. I really appreciate it. And for sharing with us kind of a sneak preview of what's to expect at the 2026 OGS Annual Conference. We'll be sure to give everybody the information on the website when we post the podcast. So thanks, Deb, for taking time today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Ohio Roots Podcast. We hope Deb Deal's preview of the 2026 OGS Conference has you excited to start finding your genealogy gems in Sharonville next year. Be sure to follow the Ohio Genealogical Society for conference updates, registration details, and more ways to grow your research skills. Until next time, keep exploring your Ohio roots, and thanks for listening to the Ohio Roots Podcast. Get ready for the 2025 OGS Annual Conference coming to Sharonville, Ohio, April 29th through May 2nd, 2026. Join genealogists and family historians from across the country for 4 days of inspiring sessions, expert speakers, research tools, and community connections. Don't miss your chance to discover new stories and strengthen your family history skills. Registration opens November 28th, so be sure to register and be part of Ohio's premier genealogy event.
The Ohio Roots Podcast is brought to you by the Ohio Genealogical Society, the premier gateway for discovering your Ohio family history. Hosted by OGS Executive Director Noel Poyer and edited by Luke Poyer. Theme song is Beautiful Ohio, recorded by Bob Stanley and his orchestra in 1944. To learn more about joining the Ohio Genealogical Society, visit www.ogs.org.